Hey everyone, here we are. We are now live, and we of course will be checking out if everything is all right, and it does seem like it is. So hey everyone, welcome to the live show. So hello there, this is the Live Tech Show. We are live every Tuesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 2000 hours Universal Time. This is Live Tech Show number 66. We are at the last day of February. Incredible. But last day of February, a new month starts tomorrow, March. And hope everything is well and that everybody had a great week. So, of course, this is a show where I answer your questions. The way it works, we start with the questions in email that I got, and I got quite a few. Then we go to the chat room, and when I get to the chat room, I'll say hi to everybody. So, welcome aboard, and nice to see everybody here. And, of course, this is a show that we have every Tuesdays. We answer your tech questions. Okay, so... donations is a part of the show. So if you guys enjoy what I'm doing, if you guys have any, been helped in any way with some of my answers, if you like what I do, why not think of a donation? You can send a donation through Patreon, and Patreon works. Basically, you become a patron, and you can give any amount that you wish. Any amount helps, and that's one thing that's very important to understand. You know, people sometimes say, "Oh, well, I'm sorry, I just gave this or that." It's like, no, you don't understand. Any amount helps. It doesn't matter how small or how big. Just, having donations, regular donations helps a lot. Patreon.com/radio and computers. Why it's called Radio and Computers? Basically, it's simply because parts of the videos from the radio channels are there. Part of the videos from the computer channels are there. So it's a mixed bag. Or you can go to PayPal if you have a PayPal account. That's what you need. That's all you need. You create a PayPal account if you don't have one. PayPal accepts that you link a bank, a checking account. So even if you don't have a credit card, you can use PayPal to do donations with your checking account. And you send it at the Yahoo email address that you see here. And of course, every donation is helpful. Without the donations, I would not be here right now. It's thanks to a lot of the donations that I got in the past year that all of that is possible. And here's the mascot, Paul the cat, saying hello to everybody. Seems that he wants to say hi. So thanks everybody that have donated already, and for all of you that maybe I haven't done it yet, and you're thinking, why not? It could be a great occasion to give a little something back when you like content. So, and thank you for everybody that has donated. It's much appreciated. Okay, the first questions that we will go to, of course. So, here we go. Okay, the first questions basically come from Tommy, aka Viper78 boy, so Viper the Bookman, and so he's got a few questions. He's got a problem with his computer, sorry. And so he was kind of in trouble because wanted to know a few things about how to handle the fact that he is having these problems. Now his PC is up and working again, and we're happy for that. So some of the things that we need to answer that I think not just Tommy, but a lot of people don't necessarily understand very well. So first of all, when your PC crashes, if you have it doesn't boot up for some reason, you've installed something or something happened or you got a virus, anything. It could just be, Windows acting up and you can't boot. One of the things that happens is that, okay, you got to start and basically, get your PC back and running. So basically, what happens is that you have to find some way to reinstall. Now, the best thing that you need to do is, of course, create a USB thumb drive with the Windows 10 media creation tool. And I think everybody should have one USB thumb drive with the latest version of Windows 10 on it and stored away somewhere. So like that, if your PC crashes, you can actually take that thumb drive, restart and reinstall Windows 10. Now, Tommy didn't have that, so he was wondering, okay, can I go back to Windows 8.1 and then come back to Windows 10 afterwards? Yes, you can go back to Windows 8.1. If your computer came with Windows 8, technically, it has probably a recovery partition on your drive. So there's an F key at some sort, or a key to press when you start your PC. And usually what happens is that will bring you into the recovery options of your computer. And that will give you access probably to the original system on your PC. So in your case, Tommy, was Windows 8, would probably reinstall Windows 8 in that case. And the question you had is, okay, but if I go to Windows 8, am I going to be able to go back to Windows 10, upgrade to Windows 10 for free? Yes, because your PC has been officially assigned. So technically, if you have Windows 8 installed, you just start the process of upgrading to Windows 10, and you will come back to the latest Windows 10 version. Now, one of the things that you need to know is that there's no more do you want to upgrade to Windows 10 that's going to pop up. You'll have to use, download with the media creation tool and create your USB thumb drive and upgrade from there or from the media creation tool. Because unlike when Windows 10 was free and there was this nagging do you want to upgrade window, it doesn't appear anymore because most people don't want to upgrade. So those that are stayed on Windows 8. But yes, you can upgrade to Windows 10 for free. It stays free. You had an activation of Windows 10, so it works and there's no problem there. But you kind of got a little warning there. We're always used to the fact that our PCs, we press that little power button, PC starts up, we do whatever you want to do, and we're used to the fact that it works all the time. And one of the things that I have to say with that is, nope, it doesn't work all the time. It can happen. Now, Tommy, you've seen that. Oh, something can happen and PC doesn't start. So that's why it's the best thing. If you don't want to take an amazing amount of time, reinstalling Windows 8 and then upgrading, and it's complex, it's kind of a complicated thing to do, keep yourself a USB thumb drive with the latest version of Windows 10 on it that's already pre-installed. Now, one thing that you are asking me about this is also the fact that, okay, but if I upgrade to Windows 10, am I getting the latest version? Well, the media creation tool, what it does, it gives you the anniversary update. Okay, that's the first thing it's going to give you. Media creation tool will give you the last full version that they have, an image, and its anniversary update from the month of August. Now you're asking, well, that upgrade me to the latest version, which is 10. What is it? Whenever I forgot the Windows version here. The latest version, yeah, that's 14393.693. And so you're wondering, will that bring me there? Yes, because when you start the process of installing Windows 10, at some point, it's going to ask you what's your, if you have Wi-Fi, what's your Wi-Fi connection? And if you're connected through an Ethernet cable, well, you just continue and ignore that, and it's going to actually download the cumulative update that brings your PC to 14393.693, which means that once you're up and working, usually you're pretty much at the latest version, If you're not, you're going to have a small cumulative update that's just going to bring you up to 14.393.693, the latest version that everybody has. That is cumulative update. So that's pretty much what you need to know. And basically, don't worry, you have your free Windows 10 and it's going to stay free for sure. And yep, the media creation tool will give you the anniversary update, and it's going to update it to the latest version once you install, because it doesn't give you the cumulative updates on the creator, on that media creation tool. It gives you the last version of the image file, which is the month of August right now. In a few weeks, we'll have a new one, which will be the creator's update. So very important to use that. And another question I believe that you ask is that in my video, there's a way that I've shown you how to do it differently. And here's the take on that, because there's one that you can use what's called Rufus, which is a USB boot drive creation. Now, the reason why sometimes you have to do that is there's two things. The media creation tool will boot up on a lot of PCs that doesn't have basically I forgot what's the name, but secure boot. If you don't have secure boot enabled, basically what happens is you'll be able to boot with the usual USB drive from the media creation tool. But if you have secure boot installed, a lot of PCs cannot boot from that USB drive. So what happens then is that you need to use Rufus instead to create the USB drive that will be able to upgrade. So Rufus is great for that because it creates a bootable USB drive. And usually what I do is always use Rufus for a very simple reason. It boots up on every PC, so you don't have to wonder, will it boot or not. So I rather download the image file and then use Rufus to create the USB drive, and that it's going to boot for sure. And one last thing about your crash that I wanted to talk about is if the hard drive crashes. That's why also having a USB thumb drive is important. Because if you have a hard drive crash, what's going to happen is that the hard drive crash is going to prevent you from going back to Windows 8. So basically, what's going to happen is that you won't be able to go to Windows 8.1 or anything if you don't have a media of some sort. That's why it's extremely important that you keep a USB thumb drive with Windows 10 on it, ready to install. If you change a hard drive with a new one, you'll be able to reinstall Windows 10. And I've just learned that in Norway, Rufus is a condom brand. So that's kind of interesting. So basically, use Rufus to make sure that you're safe on your PC. That has all of its meaning. Use Rufus to be safe on your PC. So you use Rufus to basically just reinstall. With the flash drive, and keep that flash drive in a stored place, and basically you'll be fine. So don't worry about it, but make sure that you keep that thumb drive somewhere. If you need, if your hard drive crashes and you need to reinstall, great way, because now you'll have what you need. If your hard drive crashes, you probably don't have access to your old Windows 8 anymore because it's on a partition on that drive. And if you don't have a USB thumb drive, you'll have to go into some other. So basically, some other computer to create that drive. So that's pretty much what I have to say about that. And good luck. Hope that you don't have too many problems and too many things going bad with that. Okay, what else do we have here? We have an email from Stephen Mail that wanted to say that he ordered a Chromebook. So he bought an Acer Chromebook R13 convertible, 13.3 inch, full HD touch, 4 gigabytes RAM, and 32 gigabytes of disk space, SSD. So basically, he's going there in his email, and that's one thing that I want to talk about Windows problems here. In his email, and Stephen Mail had his share of issues with Windows 10, his share of issues with all sorts of PCs, and one of the things that he's mentioning here that he starts thinking that he's got problems with Windows since Windows 95. He's always had many problems. The one he had the least problems with was Windows 8.1. He had a lot of problems with Windows 10, and so it's one of the reasons why he's going to the Chromebook is because he's a little fed up of all of that. I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about that because first of all, you're a little out of the general population. I have to say, with all the problems you got. In Windows 10, you've got more problems than most people. That is obvious. I don't have, I've got I got 2 insider machines. Those sometimes have problems, but that's an insider thing. On the official release of Windows 10, which I've got 1, 2, what do I have? 1, 2, let me check that out. 1, 2, 3 PCs that run Windows 10 officially. And basically, that gives me sorry here, I was a little distracted by an email. Okay, so what happens here, it gives me a little bit of a insight of what Windows 10 is about. Also, my clients that I have here that are all on Windows 10 gives me also an insight on how Windows 10 is reacting, how the upgrades are going. And basically, what happens is that what I see is that Windows 10 is extremely stable and has very few problems, even on the upgrades, like on the anniversary update. So it's very, very peculiar that you have so much problems, and I'm very, very curious about that. Now, what I want to say is when you reinstall a system, one of the things that's very important is to remember that, it's not a bad idea to upgrade all the drivers from the manufacturer's website because Windows does not update all the drivers. There are drivers that cannot be updated through Windows Update. You have to do it through the manufacturer's website. And by the way, there was one of the things that I wanted to talk. I don't know if that was the case. We have Carol K. Stoffer that had a glitch on her Windows 10 PC, and she was wondering because the tech guy said, "Well, we upgraded drivers," and she said, "Well, I thought the drivers were up to date." And one of the things that you gotta always be sure is the drivers that you go through Windows itself. If you go to that update through Windows Update, it doesn't update all the drivers. So if you think that's updated, it doesn't mean it's updated. You might need to go to the manufacturer, which is very, very important. One thing also that I like to mention, when you have PC trouble, another thing to make sure that you have the latest is the BIOS update. your PC has a BIOS, a basic input-output system. That kind of is the basic program that decides how the motherboard will react first at boot up, but also it has a way of, making sure that Windows understands everything on your motherboard and how things work. And that, sometimes when it's not upgraded, will make glitches on a PC. So that's also something that you need to update. When you have problems, updating your BIOS is actually something that could help regularly. But drivers are often #1 issue. And also, don't overload the PC with all sorts of software. One of the biggest problems with a lot of people that I've seen is that the clients I go to very often have too many software installed. Too many things are installed on their computers. And that's creating an issue because there's interactions between software. And, you got to be careful. A PC, the less you have, software that is kind of, not really useful, the better it is in general. So don't over install all sorts of software, and be careful. Some people are curious. They look at things on the internet, and one of the things that happens is you see all these little, oh, this program does that, this program does that, oh, this program will update this or that, and you start installing tons of junk from the internet, and you end up with a PC that's unstable and has problems all the time, and it's because of the junk that you install. And you might think, well, I'll uninstall all of that. Yeah, but when you uninstall it, there's a lot of stuff that's left behind. There's a lot of changes that are actually still there. There are some changes that in the registry that are not reversed when you uninstall the program, and you might still continue having issues. So it's very, very important. And so, but that said, you know what? I hope that you have fun with that Chromebook. And of course, let us know how you like it. Well, it's going to be fun to know how you like your Chromebook PC. Okay, what else do we have? Let's continue on with antivirus on Mac PCs and a few questions. One is from Jacqueline. Let's just do this. Okay. So one of the question is from, let's just erase this here. Okay. Jacqueline McBride, and she has malware called VBS Gen that's popping up with her Avast scanning. Okay, I've done a little research, and you don't have a virus, Jacqueline. That's what we call a false positives. It seems that Avast is going crazy on Macs right now with detection of something that is not a problem. So you don't have malware on your Mac, and you're at OS Sierra 10.12.3. So there's no viruses on your machine. It is really, really a false positive that's happening right now with Macs. So that's what you're experiencing. Don't worry. And basically, there's nothing wrong. So you can relax, and it's really, really Avast kind of working a little too hard. And false positive are part of antiviruses from time to time. Now that one seems a little intense because I was looking at different forums, and a lot of the forums were actually telling that there were tons and tons of files that were detected with the virus. But don't believe it. It's not a virus, and you have no issue at all. And anyone that has Avast on a Mac and has VBS Gen malware when it scans, don't believe it. Also, I have a question that's coming from Mike, and Mike is actually saying that after he installed AVG free on his PC, became really slow. Now, you have given me some of the details. You have an old Core 2 computer. So one of the things that is unfortunately a problem with an older Core 2 machine is the fact that yes, there are some issues with antivirus. Very often you install the antivirus and it actually slows your PC to a crawl. Unfortunately, that antivirus software is the worst piece of software for any old machine. It just makes it so slow. I would you say you're running Windows 7. I would use the Microsoft Security Essentials. Forget about AVG Free or any other antivirus than Microsoft Security Essentials, because it actually is the one that impacts the least your machine. And don't go over crazy on security, because one of the things that I always say, that's always the case, very often the case, when you are basically using an older computer, antivirus like Security Essentials is quite all right. It's going to work fine. And remember, security is you first. So before anything else, you are the one that will that has problems. And if you aren't careful basically on what you're doing, that is much more dangerous than whatever type of antivirus you're using. Use security essentials. It's going to be much less of a problem on the speed of your older machine, for sure. Tim Robinson has some interesting comments that he was testing out 15042 3-day test on his main machine. I've been testing it myself. And, well, of course, last Friday we had the latest build of Windows 10. And that build, which is 15042, is quite amazing. For a second there, I actually thought that we were maybe in the Creators Update already. But I've noticed that, hey, no, it's not. It's still a version that's being tested out, and it's even though watermark is gone on the screen and everything, and we'll talk about that later on, by the way, in our Windows Insider Hour tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern, 2300 hours Universal Time. So, but I expect maybe another build, but I don't think there's going to be more than one build, honestly. I think that's going to be really interesting to check out. So basically, there will be some, at least another build. We will probably at that build, I would expect one build and at that build move on. Tim has tested game mode again with all sorts of different ways of testing it. I got basically pretty much the same thing here too. It doesn't seem to do anything. And finally, questions that I get all the time: when Creators Update is going to be released. First of all, just to say something. If you are on a regular machine, no. Everybody's saying, hey, should I install this? No, you should not. This is for insiders only, for people that know what they're doing. And the question of when Creators Update will be released, we're expecting it at the first week of April. So first week of April, we're probably going to get there. Anyways, once we get it officially, once it's officially there on our Insider machines with the correct version, which should be 1703. I think it's going to be quite all right. Okay, Android-related questions that are coming in, and this is to complete Tommy, which sent another email with the fact that he's wondering about the versions of Android are safe or not. Okay, first of all, first question is my Android version safe? If you are on 4.4 or higher, for now you are still safe. You still have updates. It's still something that is okay. So 4.4 KitKat and up is okay. You're wondering, how do you update a tablet? For example, you have a tablet, Samsung tablet. Usually, to see if you got an update for that, you should go into that little settings wheel and you go down to about this device. When you click there, you will have one that says update, manual update, or check for updates, and check there. If there is a new version, it's going to pop up there, and usually it's going to bring you to whatever version, last version that tablet can work with. There are other ways of sometimes pushing Android on some tablets, but it's a little complex, and it's not really something that I like talking about to people that are totally sure what they're doing with their computers and tablets. So maybe you're better off leaving it like that. Check the internal update to see if it's available. If it's there, that's cool, and basically it should install if there's a version available. And if not, like I said, 4.4 and up, I think you say you're on version 5. It's all right for now. You're still safe. Next one to go will be 4.4 probably. The version 5 should be supported a little while, and so for now you're okay with that version of Android. And for I got a few that told me, yeah, what about the what to do if stuck at the unsafe version of Android? There's not a lot you can do. You got to be careful with what you do because you are unsafe on the internet and unsecure. So basically, you got to be careful with that. That's for sure. And basically, that's pretty much what I have to say. Just a quick question for Alex. If you are you're trying to install and it rolls back, there's a fix. There's a known fix for that. I posted a video on my Insider channel, but if you look at the blog post from Microsoft of the Insider, they show you how to go to the command prompt and enter commands to fix, because you have probably a corrupt registry key that you need to remove. After you do the command line and the command prompt, you will be able to upgrade. You check for a Windows Insider version, and it should go through. There's a small percentage of people that have that. And before we say hello to the chat room, I will just complete with a few questions I got here. First, Carol Case Telfer, that never really used OneDrive too much, and then she heard that I was backing up all my personal stuff there, so you decided, hey, why not do the same? So you've got 250 gigs of personal stuff to place on OneDrive. So you follow the instruction, and you seem to understand that there was only a few files there after a while. So you decided to take your folders in all your files on your computer, slide them on the OneDrive folders. Here's the thing. With OneDrive, you got to be patient, because there are several things that affect OneDrive. So if you look after 2 hours and you say, oh, there's only a few things there, that's because you got to remember that, first of all, your internet connection is slower on the upstream than on the downstream. So for example, if you get, for example, here I have 120 gigabit per second now, I have 20 megabit up. So, it's 6 times slower. And pretty much every internet connection works like that. So, first of all, the upstream is slower, takes more time. 250 gigabytes will take days, if not weeks, before upgrading there. Second, also another thing that you need to know is OneDrive automatic sync stops when you are using your computer and the internet quite a lot. And it's normal. It's there to prevent that you will have problems with your internet connection because it's uploading too much data. So it might have stopped and it's going to continue when it can. You got to be really, really patient. Now, I'm not sure exactly, but I do think that when you sync, even though you did, drag the files onto the OneDrive folders, it should see that the files that are there and not create doubles, hopefully. But it is a question of being very patient for OneDrive. I mean, cloud backup has one major issue. And basically what happens is that the OneDrive folder, or anything that backs up on the cloud, needs to be done in a very slow manner, or else you won't be able to see everything. And so it's not the best way to back up if you need a fast backup. For the same other reason, it's not the best way to back up if you need to download 250 gigabytes of data every time your computer crashes. And the main reason why I do it is because it is a failsafe that is better than everything else. In meaning that if, for example, I've got 1 terabyte drives here, and I did back up my personal data on 2 1 terabyte drives that I keep over here. So why 2? Because I want to be extra careful in case. So, I'm pretty sure I won't lose my data. But the thing is, if I get stolen, or if the house catches on fire, I will lose those backups that are here because they were all at the same place. By doing a OneDrive, it's not super efficient, but at least whatever happens, I can go back to OneDrive, and I know that everything is going to be at least on the OneDrive folders. And for those that say, oh yeah, but Microsoft is going to peek on your stuff, why the hell would they do that? Who cares? Who cares about my data? I don't even see why I should go crazy over that. That's a nonsense, a completely useless nonsense, especially with the terabytes and terabytes and terabytes and terabytes of data they have. I'm not scared of that. Grable Pearls has a question concerning removal of Windows 10 apps using the command prompt. Yeah, that works. Yes, that does work. But the reason I like to do it with CCleaner, it's just so easy and not complicated. And CCleaner does it all for you. So, no worry about that. And if you have uninstalled Skype from the laptop and S7 Edge and all, it will not remove anything from Skype on your Outlook mail, because that is totally autonomous and it's a cloud version of Skype that is over there. So it will not change anything at all. And what else do we have here? And last question coming from Handy in Montreal. Hello there. I have two computers, one 2008 Toshiba my sister sent from Toronto and a 2014 Dell. The Dell freezes in pixels after an hour on Skype on the same connection. Toshiba Skype's fine. Any suggestion? Make sure your drivers are up to date. Make sure your PC doesn't come too hot. When you Skype, do you see that your fans are running like crazy? You hear the fans? You know, for example, here I'm doing the live stream. The fan of my laptop is running wild because I'm sending out some HD video. So basically, what I would check out for pixelating after an hour of on the Dell, and you see freezes in pixels, it could be that there's some kind of problem with Skype and the drivers of your webcam. Make sure that your webcam's drivers are at the latest version. It could be an issue where, you know, sometimes with the driver and the camera, there's kind of a buffer overrun or there's something happening and it just goes crazy. But I would suspect, first of all, maybe driver issues. So check driver updates for your Dell on the Dell website or for the webcam you're using. Check that doesn't come too hot. If it does, try to find a way to cool it down. Make sure there's not too many programs in process that are actually running in the background, because here it seems that it's something that's happening on your PC. And I would think that it could be, there's a good chance that it could be a webcam driver issue. If you're using the Dell webcam on the laptop, go to the Dell website and check out your model and check out for the latest driver they have on, if you're there, you might as well check out all the drivers updates they have for all of your PC and update everything. Might fix the issue immediately. If it's a third-party camera like a Logitech, go to the Logitech website. But I suspect that there's either a driver issue or some kind of incompatibility with your Skype on that machine, basically. I wouldn't be surprised. Hey, chat room. Hello. How are you? Everything's fine. Hello, Tim Robinson, Grapple Pearls, Halton. Hello there. Alex Tuttle. Hello there. And Bobby Burgess. Electra Thomason. Hello there. Nice to have everybody here. 1990 Sunbird. Hello. We have, what do we have? Did I miss? Cool AM Radio. Andre. Hello there. Nice to have you on board as usual. Sean Robinson. Hello. We have Hesadev that I was here at the beginning but not always there. Ricardo Mota, hello there. Did I miss anybody? Say hi if I missed any of you. And hey there, Farney Jr., nice to have you on board. Peter Sargent, hello there. Nice to have you. Nice to have you all there. And oh, it's Mardi Gras today. I didn't know that. Nice. So, hey, nice to have everybody on board. And for those that are still, just came to the stream, this is the live show that we have every Tuesdays, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2000 hours UT. We try to, answer all the questions. Hello there, Pat Dorney. Nice to have you on board. Thank you for the nice comment. Don't look at the number here, but just remind everyone, another show coming up a little later, Windows Insider Hour at 6 p.m. today. We're going to talk about, of course, the latest Insider build and answer a few questions. And we have a few things, how's things going to happen from now on with the Insider builds. A little something that I saw this morning on Donna Sarkar's. It's the first time that I see Donna Sarkar kind of losing it a little bit on her Twitter feed. She got that's Twitter. She got a stupid dumbass that just said, we just want to have insider information. You should stop talking about all the uninteresting stuff that you're talking about. And I thought, okay, I got to say, that's a rude message. And, if you're not happy, why don't you just go somewhere else? And that's pretty much what Donna said. She said, hey, there's a Windows Insiders Twitter feed if you want to have just Windows Insider stuff. And why don't you unsubscribe from here? And it was like, whoa, okay. She was a little mad at that. And, it's normal. I would have been mad too. Hell, I get hate mail every day, so, I totally understand that there's just so many people that are completely idiots and annoying on the internet. I can tell you that, everyone. So, hey, everyone, anybody have questions or anything? So, yeah, just to complete here with Alex, the upgrade problem you're having on your Insider preview, by the way, is basically a fix that you can find. And look at that. I'm just going to check it out here. I think I can find it right here. Build 15042 fix. And I'm going to talk about it a little more on the Insider show later on. But here, this pretty much gives you all the details here. So simply follow the instructions here, Alex, and with that you will have total fix of the it will fix that update problem. Yeah, no, Grapple Pearls, it will not. Skype in Outlook Mail is it's an online thing. So what you do in your computer does not affect the fact that it's still there. They have to basically, they really have to basically give us the possibility to just remove it from there. Will be the only way that you would be able to remove Skype. But no, I just ignore it. It's okay. By ignoring it, it works fine. So what else do we have here? Well, you can try it out if you want, Grapple Pearls, and let us know. But I don't think it's going to do anything except the fact that you just want to have Skype anywhere on your PC. I don't think that it's going to happen. The image files for 15042 are not out. For that to happen, we need to have 15042 go to slowing, which it has not done yet. So I heard some rumors that it might come to slowing, but I don't know. What I'm thinking is that there's going to be another build, and when that build is released, the 15042 will be released. I would say that's the thing that's gonna happen. Basically, anybody else have anything in the chat room? Apart from that, here we don't have any other questions there. Well, we went through the questions quite fast today. Already 3:49. So apart from that, creators updates coming up. I think it's going to be a very interesting thing to get. And a lot of people actually were talking to me about I posted a video yesterday of how to be ready for creators update. And one of the things that I think is the major issue. The major issue is backup. people don't back up. That's a very, very, very big problem, for sure. And, when you have such a big install of Windows like Creators Update is going to do, you need to back up just to make sure that everything is all right. I can tell you that. Who's my favorite YouTuber? Most of the YouTubers that I follow, that I like, are radio YouTubers. I love, there's tons of radio channels that I follow that I just love, and I follow a lot of people there. I don't look much at any tech channels. I guess maybe because I'm always into tech stuff. And I would say the other thing that I do is on Mondays I enjoy watching Car Crashes Time and seeing my 10 minutes of car crashes from Russia. I don't know why. It's like I have to look at that. Ripple Pearl. I tweeted to 3 Microsoft/Skype engineers and asked why Skype is on by default and why we cannot have a choice as to what apps we want associated with Microsoft account. Yeah. You know what, Grateful Pearls, you didn't get an answer, not because they don't want to answer you. I think that you didn't get an answer because they don't have one themselves. And they probably get tons and tons of requests like that of people saying, hey, we're mad. And they're just, well, don't ask me. So it's very, very, very important to back up. And by the way, the backup videos are coming. I've got some... I was able to get, and don't ask me how come I got these at those prices, but I was able to get 1 terabyte drives for $20 each. You did hear me well, $20 each. And so I'll be using one of those 1 terabytes to show you how to back up, how to restore, how to do a lot of things. So I hope. Hey, cool AM. No beer tonight. Actually, it was I went to the bar Saturday, Sunday, and yesterday evening, three nights in a row, and had like 4 or 5 beers every night. So today I thought, okay, that's enough beer for now. Next beers are going to be on the shows Thursday with Gabriel, and my radio shows on Friday and Saturday. So, yep, I did see Patrick Movies and TV app that has a lot of new features and a lot of new stuff coming for Creators Update, and including the 360 degrees video view and stuff like that. Kind of interesting. So, it's not that I don't feel like a beer, but you know what? I'm trying to lose weight, and beer is like way there's a lot of calories in beer, so it's not good to lose weight. I can tell you that. What else do we have here? I wanted to say something. Movies and TV app reminded me of something, and I forgot about it. Oh yeah, I got a new you guys should see this. I got a new very cheap VR viewer, the ones that you put your phone inside, and I've been playing with that. Yesterday bought it for like $20. So you put your phone in it, and you download VR apps, virtual reality apps, and it's just so cool. But man, after 20 to 30 minutes of use, I just get dizzy and feel awkward. And I got to stop using it for about an hour before I can continue. It really makes me feel queasy, and I'm like, wow. Yesterday I used it like 4 or 5 times in the evening. Man, I went to bed, I had a headache, and it was like, wow. But it's just really, really cool. I've downloaded some really cool VR stuff on the Galaxy S7 phone, and a lot of fun. It's really a lot of fun. It's very cheap, You know, it's a no frills thing. It's a bit like the Google Cardboard one. It doesn't do anything except you just put the phone in and you look, and it's you know, it's cool. For being cool, it's really cool. But man, I get, after 20 minutes I start getting nauseous, and it's just, I gotta stop. You know, it's sad because it's really cool. Real Pearl says, Jill, wouldn't it be nice if they did the apps and services associated with MSA like they did with Windows Essentials, where you could check off what you wanted to install? Yeah. You know, it's the way that, you know, sometimes Microsoft can be really cool and do stuff correctly, and the next day you'll wake up and you'll have something shoved in your face, and you're gonna say, wow, it's all or nothing with that. You know, it's all or nothing. I can tell you that. And 3 nights of beer and no lipstick on the collar. That is, it's not. It's, you know, I'm already engaged here, so I can't do that. And what else do you have? Yeah, VR does make you shit sick. Sorry, what the hell did I say here? VR can make you sick. If it makes you shit, well, I guess you had too much VR. Oh man. Yeah, Albert, it's kind of cool, but yeah, you do need a phone to use it. Really, I don't know why my the word slipped there. VR makes you shit. Okay, sorry. Used to get headaches playing video games. Yeah, you know, I remember when I was young and I used the computer a lot. For some reason, I felt weird after a few hours of playing games, and I had to kind of stop and go outside and do something else, as if, I don't know, as if I don't really know, as if, you know, it's like there's no frame skips on pretty much any video that I do. If you're looking at the mouse pointer or stuff like that, don't look at it. I don't put the screen recorder at maximum, because it makes files that are way too big, and it doesn't matter if the mouse pointer isn't perfectly smooth on the screen. We don't care about that. I'd rather have smaller uploads than you know, gigabytes of data. But there are some frame skips on the upstream of live shows. If you look at the live show recorded, there are some frame skips, and those frame skips are because of the YouTube connection. Sometimes YouTube doesn't get all of the connection correctly. It's really the way that when you get it from when they receive the live show, you know, it's like you might see freezes a few seconds and then it continues, and mostly has to do, from what I see here, from YouTube itself. Oh yeah, it's you know, it's cool, but man, it really feels weird. I can tell you that. So yeah, we're all waiting for that. I'm waiting for it. What I've heard here, I'm on Fido, which is a Canadian that's attached to Rogers. Basically, it's the same as Rogers. And what I know is that I've got a Galaxy S7 here, and what I know is that the update to Nougat, or version 7, is blocked by the carrier right now. So basically, there's no nothing I can do. I have to wait for my carrier to say, "Hey, it's cool, you can get it now," which I really hate. And you know, the biggest problem with updates to Android is the fact that when you get, thank you for sharing on Twitter, Cool AM. The greatest problem with Android is, you know, carriers often wait a long time before um, you know, they release it because they're the first line of defense. So basically, um, it's them that gets the tech calls when something is not working. Um, what else do we have here? Um, mm, 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 mm. Yeah, why not put your phone on Insider, Tim? Could be cool. And Electro Thomas has got 7 on his Sony phone. Lucky you. Nintendo Switch is not out right now, Alton. Nintendo Switch is on March 2nd. No, I won't turn off notifications. Doesn't matter. Doesn't change anything. Doesn't matter really. Doesn't really matter. So yeah, I've got eyes everywhere. Actually, if you guys would see my screen, the way that we do it like that when I'm with Gabrielle on the live show on Thursdays. We put the main page for number of viewers, so I can see how many viewers are watching right now live. Then I have another window on top with the chat room, and the notifications sometimes pop up and tell us that there are comments from other places, which is pretty cool. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, Nougat. Sean Robinson's still waiting for Nougat to arrive on his phone too. It's just a sad thing to see how the S8, lots of leaks. Lots of leaks. Give us more. Lots of leaks of the S8. This seems to be a very interesting phone and seems to be very advanced with online buttons and everything. Pretty interesting stuff. And I think that's going to be cool. Patrick, did you see the Ryzen box the tech reviewers are getting? Yeah, it's. I got to say, I really am anxious. And you know what? Apparently, there's some kind of panic going on at Intel, because now they're seeing that Ryzen CPU that's very good performance wise, much cheaper, and Intel is like, okay, we're gonna be beaten here. We need to do something, and apparently there's some sense of panic at Intel, and I like it. That's what I like. Tim, do you still get plenty calls for your local tech customers regarding Windows 10 problems? I get very few calls for Windows 10 problems, actually. I would say most of the calls for Windows 10 that I got in the past year are not problems. They are simply, okay, something's changed and I don't know why it's like that. One of the first ones, people click on Microsoft Edge and they see it's the blue E and they think it's Internet Explorer, and they're completely lost and they're like, what the hell, I lost everything. You know, things like that. It's not, it's really not, most of the clients I have, it's really not problems. It's, okay, you don't understand that this has changed more than anything else, actually. I sang for what? I sang I had some beer for 3 days in a row, and I sang 2 days in a row. Riders on the Storm from the Doors. What did I sing this weekend? Riders on the Storm from the Doors. Lately, I've been singing pretty much all the same songs all the time. Sky Full of Stars from Coldplay. What else did I sing? I sang some Billy Idol. White Wedding and Dancing with Myself. A few songs like that. Depends on my mood. I wanted to do Light My Fire from the Doors, but a girl that is there that sees me singing all the time came up to me and she said, "Oh, are you gonna sing Riders on the Storm? You do it so well." And I looked at her and said, "Okay, well for you, I'm gonna change Light My Fire to Riders on the Storm." So but I sing some stuff. I sing some Duran Duran. I sing some. I have a very, very wide range of songs. I probably sing at the karaoke. People like when I sing because I have like 300 songs that I sing. So, most people that sing really well at the karaoke, the biggest problem is they sing the same songs all the time. So, they stay in their comfort zone, basically. So they're going to sing the same 3 or 4 songs all the time. And, even that, it drives me crazy because I'm always thinking if I had such a fantastic voice like some of the people, I would sing many more songs. And actually, I seem to have not a bad voice because I can tell you that most people say that I sing really, really well. So, sing the intro to the Flintstones. I'm not gonna sing because I'm gonna get a copyright infringement at the Christmas show when I sang Coldplay, "Viva la Vida." We got slapped with a copyright infringement on the show. So that's why I don't want to sing. Really, I don't want to have to start editing the video afterwards. So, but I got my acoustic guitar back. I had donated my acoustic guitar to the karaoke bar because they had musical instruments, and they wanted to have a guitar and didn't have a guitar. So basically, I had donated my acoustic guitar that I have here. So I noticed last weekend I noticed that the instruments weren't there anymore. And yesterday the boss of the karaoke bar, which is a friend of mine, came up to me and said, "Hey, you want to have your acoustic guitar back?" And I said, "Yeah, I will have my acoustic, but yeah, I'll take it back." So I got a acoustic guitar. Yeah, cool, EM. We got slapped with a copyright issue on the Christmas show. I got that in my email and everything, and it's kind of really. So I'll play you guys something. But on the acoustic guitar, I need to change the strings. They're all worn out, and I have to find my package. I think I still have a package of guitar strings for that acoustic guitar. So I'm going to do that. I got a big voice for some Doors songs. Riders on the Storm. Yeah. Email question that just came in. Riders on the storm. Into this house we're born. Okay, we have Alfred that says, "Hello, watching your show live. Find it very interesting. First time watching." And a few questions that he has. First is, he's got an old laptop that is a Core 2 machine, a Toshiba L50. and he's wondering what he could do with it in order to make it a little faster and still use it for mostly going on the internet and email. I would recommend on an old machine like that a Linux version. There are some really light Linux versions that you can install and that will make that machine actually go much faster. If I look at some of the versions, lightweight Linux distros for old computers like Core 2 computers, there's Linux Lite. Linux Lite is really good and requires a very, very low amount of RAM and CPU, so it's going to run really well on that machine probably. So Linux Lite is one of them. There's Lubuntu, so maybe there's Ubuntu, but there's one called Lubuntu with an L at the beginning, Lubuntu. Lubuntu is a lightweight version of basically of Ubuntu, if you want. So it works very well, and that one has a very, very low requirement. So works even on old. Anybody that has like an old Pentium 3 would be able to run this. So these are two that I actually like. There's Puppy Linux, but it looks a little childlike because of the puppy that's there. So Lubuntu and Linux Lite are great versions of Linux that will actually bring that old computer to life. I can tell you that. So I would check one of those. Linux Mint is too. It's not bad, but not for I'd say if you go farther than a Core 2 machine, it's a little too heavy for use. But Linux Lite or Lubuntu are great for old machines, and the minimum requirements are so low that it's going to run really well on the Core 2 machine. Even if you have only 1 GB RAM, it's going to run really well. It's very surprising. Hey, Josh Gay, nice to have you here always, and it's pretty cool. And as we continue on, of course, there's also other questions from our friend Alfred. The second question that you have is that you are using a iPhone 6 and it has only 16 gigabytes of memory, and the biggest problem that you have is you can't upgrade to version 10 of iOS because it always says it doesn't have enough space. What can I do to make more space? There's not a lot you can do. You'll have to remove all the pictures and all the videos that you have if you've taken some videos with your iPhone. Uninstall all the apps. Check out in the list what apps take the most space on your phone, and that's the only way to go. I got tons of people that have that problem here. Even friends of mine that are stuck at iOS 9 because I can't upgrade. I don't have space. I don't know what to do. And you know what? The first thing that I always say is, man, Apple should have never sold iPhones with only 16 gigabytes of storage. It's completely idiot to do that, and it's stealing people. I can tell you that. It's really stealing people, for sure. So. Sing the theme to Gilligan's Island. I like Gilligan's Island. I always enjoyed Gilligan's Island. And actually on YouTube, talking of YouTube and Gilligan's Island, there's behind the scenes of Gilligan's Island on YouTube that is interesting. And you see that they got totally ripped off. And even though it's still playing today on some channels, they're basically not getting any royalties, anything. So they're basically pretty much poor for those that are still left, like the actors that made the Ginger and the little brunette there. So yeah, Linux is worth it on a 2004 computer. If you use the versions that I just told you, Lubuntu or Linux Lite, it will bring that 2004 computer back to life, and I can tell you that. So really, really nice. And I like Rhythm and Blues. Here we have a Jazz Fest every end of June, early July, the Montreal International Jazz Festival. And there's one of the scenes there that has only blues stuff. And I got to say, there's some really, really great shows there. I used to go there all the time. I mean, when I started, I took guitar lessons when I was 18, 19 years old. And I used to I was everywhere there was music all the time. I wanted to become a big actor. I can tell you that. I wanted to become, a singer and a musician and just, be famous. I'm famous in my own way here, but not the same thing. It doesn't have the same paycheck. Yeah, I can use Google Drive to put the pictures on. You can also have use the iTunes. What is I forgot the backup, anyways, of the iCloud backup. If you don't have too much. Yeah, Ginger and Mary Ann. Exactly, Gravel Pearls. Yeah, look at that. It's interesting. Albert Zappa. When you have time, go on YouTube and just type Gilligan's Island. First of all, you'll see that there are tons of Gilligan shows on YouTube. Second of all, you'll see behind the scenes Gilligan's Island. Very interesting and sad at the same time. I can tell you that. So, hey Josh, what's new this week? Well, we answered all the questions, and we're going through chat, having a little fun. I can tell you that, just going around. Yeah, Buddy Guy, Buddy Waters. These are excellent. Yep. Trying to remember one guy that died that was an amazing guitar player also. Not a lot of people knew him. Danny, it was Danny something. I can't remember his last name. What else do we have here? Can you, let me just see where. Do you think the old new 3310 will sell well, or even enough? It is pretty dramatically altered aesthetically. Well, you know what? One of the interesting stats that came out of the Mobile World Congress is that the basic phones like the 3310, I didn't know, but last year they sold, not of that model, but of all the basic phones that are right now, which they call feature phones. They sold 365 million of those last year. And I was like, wow, that's a lot of phones. And you know what? The 3310 is $50. It gives you a month of battery, even if you talk on the phone. I mean, that's kind of the perfect phone for somebody that wants just to make calls. You just want to make calls. That's it. I think that's one of the best phones to get. A month of battery too. Pretty amazing. So basically pretty amazing. Do you have a DVD player with that laptop? I got DVD players on every laptop that I own, and the one that I'm using to do the live shows actually got a Blu-ray player. It's the only Blu-ray player I have in my home, by the way. So Can you replace your CPU on any desktop PC? Well, you can replace CPUs on a desktop PC, but with limitations, because every new CPU that comes out, every new generation has its own socket, so it's not exactly the same shape, it's not exactly the same pinout. So what you need to do is, if you do so, you'll do it with a small range of CPUs. So for example, I remember when I had my Pentium 4, when I bought it, it was a Pentium 4 2 gigahertz. But the motherboard supported Pentium 4 processors up to 3 gigahertz. So one day I found a client had a broken PC, and the client didn't want to pay for the repairs because it was kind of expensive. Bought a new PC. I took the CPU out. It was a 3 gigahertz CPU with a socket 478, if I remember well. It was a 3 gigahertz CPU, so it's like, oh, this is cool. I'm going to take the 3 gigahertz CPU, put it in my desktop, and I'll be at 3 gigahertz. But it is within two things. Within the range of speed that your motherboard can do, and the connector. The CPU needs to fit the socket. And so it's very limited. And you know what? I've never found that it's really worth it when you go from, because it's not like we think. When people say, hey, I'm going to go from a 1.6 to 3.2 gigahertz CPU, people immediately say, oh, it's going to double the speed. No, it doesn't. It's going to give you, 20% more speed. So it doesn't double the speed. It just gives you a little more speed. So very often, unless you get unless you have one lying around that doesn't cost anything, it's not worth it to buy a CPU and change it on a desktop most of the time. Very, 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 very. What else do we have here? Temptations, Fantastic Shakers, the Embers, chairman of the board. Ever heard of them? Yeah, I've heard of pretty much everybody except maybe the Fantastic Shakers. I've never heard of Fantastic Shakers, but I believe I've heard of all the rest of Temptations for sure, and chairman of the board also. So really interesting. Really interesting. We're in music now. Welcome to This Week in Music. Let's talk about our favorite music. And every half hour I play you guys a song. That'd be a nice show. We talk about music, and every 30 minutes I play a song. John Lee Hooker, yep, pretty good. Pretty good. Oh yeah, I was wondering about that question of Stairway to Heaven. Yeah, the Yardbirds. Yeah, Jimmy Page was part of the Yardbirds. That is true. So I think Led Zeppelin made it popular first, but it's possible that Yardbirds were the first to. Nokia, as the Nokia brand is sold to a company that's called. Let me just check here. Nokia brand is sold to a company that is called, let me just check it out here. I'm trying to find out who is Nokia today. So the new owner of Nokia company is here it says, okay, it's not Microsoft. They sold anyways the Nokia brand to a company, and I'm trying to find the name here, but I can just oh, it's MW. No, I don't know. I'm just trying to remember, but I can't. So they've been sold anyways. The Nokia brand is sold to another company now, and can tell you that. So basically, actually, they were sued for Led Zeppelin was sued for Stairway to Heaven, but it was found to be untrue. U2 is now in trouble. They apparently there's the song "The Fly" from their Achtung Baby album. Somebody says that it's a song that they stole. It's very difficult, I'm going to tell you that. Great beach music, yeah, that's kind of cool. Always like that. Always enjoyed, the beach, some music playing in the background. Nothing too. Yeah, I don't watch The Voice or stuff like that much. The only reason I watched the here we have, of course, the French Canadian version of The Voice, and the only year that I really watched, actually 2 years that I watched, because some people to give you the guys an idea, the karaoke bar that I go to is known for the singers, some of the best singers, and two of the people that go to the karaoke bar here were at The Voice here in Quebec. And that was the only 2 times that I actually watched The Voice, because I knew somebody that was there, and that's pretty much all that I do, because I have a lot of difficulty watching those shows. I'm not a big fan of these types of shows in general, but there's some great talent, that's for sure. Yeah, Bobby, Nokia company was bought by Microsoft, but the Nokia name, the brand, is another company that has it. So that phone, the Nokia 3310, is not by Microsoft. It's really a other company. That's why Microsoft uses the Lumia name when they actually do phones or did phones with Nokia. So, well, I can tell you, Tim, that once you start talking about the Doors and Led Zeppelin, I can tell you just one thing. It shows that either you're a big fan of music or you're getting a little older than the average population. Oh, man, that's unfortunately what happens. Oh, man. Completely different. Monty Python, did you hear 5150, the relay station? No, I actually have not been. I listened to. You know what? I haven't checked basically. 5150. I've listened on to the radio on Saturday and Sunday part of the day. Propagation was amazing this weekend. I got a station from Greenland. That was kind of cool to listen to. But I did not check for 5150 if it was there. I did not check at all. That would have been nice. That would have been kind of very, very nice. So, it's pretty cool. By the way, on Saturday, hopefully maybe somebody will relay my show. I'll be talking about pirate radio again. That's going to be cool, I think. That's going to be cool. Yes, I do like Pink Floyd. I'm a big fan of The Dark Side of the Moon. I gotta listen to Dark Side of the Moon from Pink Floyd at least 2 or 3 times a year. From beginning to end. Not just a little part of it. From beginning to end. I really need to I really need to listen to Dark Side of the Moon. I can tell you that. And I will, Grapple Pearls, promise. And well, there was something. So yeah, my March 3rd. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. On Saturday, March the 4th, I will have my radio show where I'm going to talk about pirate radio, and Shine On You Crazy Diamond is great. Actually, that album, Wish You Were Here, also love. I remember buying that Wish You Were Here album with Shine On You Crazy Diamond and everything. What is it? When I was in college, when I was 16 years old. I bought in college, I remember. Oh man. Shirley, if you sang I Just Don't Look Good Naked Anymore by the Fantastic Shakers, you would be a hit. Yes. That I should check if it's there. I'm pretty sure it probably is. Ricardo, no, I've not got Nougat on S7 yet. My carrier is blocking it. From what I've learned, is my Canadian the carrier I'm with doesn't let it go right now. So that's why I don't have it at all. Well, you know, Grape Old Pearls, I have some great hits every Christmas. Sorry. Every Christmas is that time of year where I always ask the public if they want me to sing basically a sexy version of a Christmas song, or you know, it's some are really harsh. So one that I sing all the time is Suck on My, and I won't say the other word, but you can use your imagination to know what. And it is, you sing it to the Jingle Bells tune. So you can imagine. So every year I always say, okay, I can sing Jingle Bells, or I can sing Suck on My, you know what? Which ones do you want to choose? So of course everybody raises their hand because they want to hear the Suck on My, you know what, instead of the Jingle Bells version. So every year I'm stuck at singing that one. And actually that one was a kind of a little contest with me and my nephew Gabriel, because at one Christmas time, the DJ told us you should write adult karaoke in the catalog, and you're going to see what comes up. And I got to say one thing. Wow, that was kind of okay. So anyways, it's just funny. Just funny. Talking about music, next Monday, March 6th, I'm going to see Sting. I'm going to see Sting next Monday. Woohoo! I've seen Sting at least, I've seen Sting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be my 6th time that I see Sting. It's going to be really cool. I always enjoyed Sting. Loved Sting. Loved the Police. So it's going to be really cool to listen to some Sting. His popularity has really gone down. He used to be at the big arena here with, you know, like 20,000 people, and he's going to be at the like a much smaller 3,000 place thing. So going to be a lot of fun. First time I saw Sting was in we had the Amnesty International concert in Montreal in 1987. That's the first time I had seen Sting live, and it was a great show. Lineup was there were many local artists, but then the lineup was Tracy Chapman, Youssou N'Dour, Peter Gabriel, Bruce Springsteen, Sting. The show lasted for like 8 hours. That was an amazing show. Oh yeah, he was great in that Quadrophenia movie. It was fantastic. It's one of his best roles. Another one that I like with Sting. It's called The Princess Bride. He plays like this Frankenstein guy. The Princess Bride, I think it's called. I love that movie with Sting in it. I don't know why. He fits the movie. I can tell you that. Goodbye, Elton. Nice to have you on board. And, man. No, it wasn't too bad, Patrick, actually. But, I don't really remember. But, I was, back then was even worse. So I was probably kind of a little deaf at the end for sure. And it was a pretty amazing show. It ended at 1 in the morning. I remember it ended at 1 in the morning. And, I was, in 87, I was 18 years old. So we were a bunch of guys, 4 or 5, some friends, my brother, and we were drunk at 1 a.m. and other things that I won't say. And of course, we went to a park. It was kind of, it was like September, but it was a nice September day. It wasn't cold. And I remember we went to a park at 2 a.m. and we actually went to a bar that we didn't know about, and this is a bad part. I'm sorry about that. We went to the bar, we took some beer, and the girl looked at us and said, "Oh, by the way," because it was like 2:30 in the morning now, and 20 minutes we're closing. So we took our beer and we just stood up and left the place with our beer pitcher and our glass, with the 2 waitress looking at us and like doing nothing. Just like, okay, whatever we do, there's nothing we can do about it. And we went to a park that was 1 corner street from there. And we continued drinking our beer through the night in the middle of the park. And nobody ever came by or anything, or cops never came by. And back then it was so much, it wasn't as bad as today. Today, if you're with a beer in the park, I don't think it's going to take more than 10 minutes before the cops come over. I can tell you that. So, man, that was something. Yeah, naughty Christmas songs, that's it. Kool and the Gang in college concert. Wow. That must have been really good. Actually, Kool and the Gang is very good. And Kool and the Gang is very good. First concert I've ever been to was Michael Jackson. That was at the Olympic Stadium in Montreal in 1983. First ever show for me. I was 14 years old. Michael Jackson. Hey there, K-Wells 66. Nice to have you on board. And pretty cool to see you here. And James Taylor. I've seen James Taylor in concert about many years ago. Many years ago. So pretty cool. Okay. What else do we have before we leave? Because I will take a little break and check it out before we have the Insider Hour a little later. Anybody has anything to add to what we're talking about today? Let's check it out here. I'm not a big sports fan, Alex, but if I have to choose, baseball is the number 1 sport that I loved until the Montreal Expos got sold to the United States, and basically we don't have baseball anymore here, so that's the sad part. But I really loved baseball Not a big hockey fan, but I did play hockey when I was young, like pretty much all Canadian guys. Played some hockey, some ice hockey, a lot when I was young. And what else? I'd say that I'm more of, stay fit by doing all sorts of little things, but I'm not a much, I don't follow much. I like the NFL football, mostly for when it's the Super Bowl, because it's kind of such a big spectacle. It's such a big show. It's just kind of cool. But I'm not that big of I'm not that big of a sports fan, basically. So, Electrotomastin says, when I was in Denmark, the police just told us to throw the beer in the garbage. And it was finished. When I was young, because we did it a few times, when I was, like 18, 19 years old, we had a few beers. We would have we would hide the beers in a backpack. And we would have a few beers at summer evenings in the park sometimes. Back then, the cops didn't ask us to do anything. They would just look at us, and if we weren't, making any trouble, they would not say anything. They just look, make sure that we didn't do any trouble. And I always told my friend, look, when we have our beers, put the bottles back in the backpack. Don't leave anything in the ground. We don't want to have people get mad because we leave everything here. And that's pretty much what it was back then. Today, if the cops catch you with a beer in the park, they will actually, first of all, tell you to empty it on the ground. They will actually search you to make sure that you don't have any other alcohol with you. And third, you will get a $150 fine for drinking beer in the park or drinking alcohol in the park. That's way different than it was back then. And it's even worse because back then there weren't laws like that. But today, we cannot be in a public park between midnight and 6 a.m. Every public park in Montreal is closed midnight to 6 a.m. It's a law. But back then, back in the 80s, parks would not close down. Parks were open all the time and it didn't matter. It was it's so different today. I tell Gabriel, my nephew, how he missed some of the most beautiful days where we were free to do pretty much anything. And cops weren't really, most of the time cops were not, I remember when I was young once, I was with some older guys from when I was in college, and I wasn't 18. And I remember a police car came by in the park. We were having a few beers. And I remember he looked at us and they said, look, I know some of you guys don't have 18 years old or not, the age to drink alcohol. We're not going to say anything, but we don't want to have any troubles, because if we hear that there's some trouble in the park because of you guys, that's going to be different. But they didn't really, do anything. Most of them were okay, Most of them were okay. I can tell you that. Yes, I will, Ricardo. I have a Android channel that I don't do much, but if when I get Nougat Android 7 on my S7, Ricardo, I will do a review of that for sure. Global Pros was great. We got to go breakfast with some of the guys of Casey and the Sunshine Band. Wow, that's nice. Dated Harry Wayne Casey. Oh, really? That's interesting. And that's kind of interesting. Cool. Tim says, Denmark. It's a great place to go drinking. Have a beer. That could be cool. Have a beer at in every country around the world. Have some kind of local beer. So pretty amazing. The only reason I still go to the bars much is because the karaoke bar. I love singing. So, it brings me there and I have my little, it's fun to have that, little song that you sing and that there's a crowd that, will applaud you. There's something that I like in that. So that's mostly the reason why I go to the bars. Lately, 90% of the time I go to bars because I want to go sing some karaoke songs. Like next Monday, after the Sting show, what am I going to do? I'm going to go to the karaoke bar and sing some songs. That's what I like. Because if it wouldn't be for the karaoke, I don't think I'd be going to bars really much anymore. It's not like when I was younger. So, Tim says, never guessed my dad's cousin, Gilbert O'Sullivan. That'd been crazy or someone. Have you made your own beer? No, I've never tried that. Never tried to make my own beer. But we have so much choices. I'll tell you that. So, hey everyone, I will say bye-bye for this week. We've turned our computer tech show to a beer and music show. In an hour and about 15 minutes from now on the Insider channel, we will have our next show. So hope you can join us in a little more than an hour. So that's going to be for anybody that doesn't know where it is. In the chat, I'm going to put the link. So youtube.com/Windows 10 for everyone. So this is where we will be live in the next hour, a little more, and I will, of course, have the Windows Insider Hour. We'll talk about the latest build of Windows 10 and all sorts of little insider stuff that we need to talk about. So hope that everybody enjoyed the show today. For those that are coming over in about an hour, cool, we'll see you back. And hey, for all of the other ones, Thursday, from the couch with my nephew Gabriel at 4 p.m. That's 2100 hours UTC. Friday, I've got the Tuning the Shortwave Band show, 2000 hours UTC, 3 p.m. Eastern. And Saturday, I will have my shortwave show. We'll talk about pirate radio again. And hopefully, maybe somebody will be broadcasting my voice over shortwave. So take care, everyone. Grateful Pearls, I promise I will check the link as soon as I'm off here. Thanks, everyone. And Insider Hour coming up in a little over an hour from now. So take care, everyone. See you next week for those that are coming back only next week. And see you soon for everybody that's watching my Windows Insider at 6 p.m. Eastern, 2300 hours UT. Bye, everyone. Take care. It's always fun to have everybody. It's really, really cool. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.